Being sent home early, I guess I was really upset because we went home for spring break thinking we would come back, only packed for a week, and then they extended our break like another week. And it was kind of like I was caught off guard, and I was really upset because then I had to say goodbye to all my friends. We had to move out early, so.
Yeah, being sent home early definitely screwed up my junior year, I'd say. Going from in-person classes all of a sudden to everything online was quite a change. But I think everything online kind of helped me a little bit because I had to teach myself more. Um, in person gets boring. I mean, sometimes I'd be on my phone, not paying attention. Online, you really had to pay attention because you couldn't go to the office hours. You had to go to online office hours, which didn't really help. So I think online, you had to pay attention more and kind of teach yourself more.
I think life would have came back to normal. Like I thought this was just like, oh, flu season, like give it a month, people will get over it quickly. And then they started saying that everything was shutting down and we had to wear masks. Like that's just not our normal. We would walk around, even during flu season, around someone could be walking right past you and they would have the flu and you wouldn't even know it. And now it's like you see someone with a mask and you automatically think that they would have COVID. So I guess that was like another thing that really put me off guard.
Yeah, I definitely thought things would have gone back to normal. But after a while, when we had to quarantine, I don't know, it wasn't even quarantine for me. I live not close to anyone.
It was quarantine for me, definitely.
Yeah, I don't really live near anyone, so it's just like a normal life. But I remember like when quarantine first started, I went to go get my hair cut and I didn't have a mask or anything. I remember my hairdresser being like, "Do you have a mask?" I'm like, "Why do I need that?" And she's like, "It's the law now." And it was definitely quite different.
Yeah, I also remember my friend. We went out to just like hang out like usual, and she brought gloves with her and was like, "There's a pandemic, like there's a virus going around." And I thought she was crazy. Like I was like, this is not gonna be that serious." And then we started quarantining, and I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be like a long time," because nobody really. I cared about COVID just because my parents were really really worried about it, and they really like everything on the news. Like I feel like that was all on the news is COVID, 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 and how people were starting to go into the hospital and how people need to be on ventilators. And this whole quarantine, staying in your home, you can't go anywhere, you can't even go to the grocery store. And I think because my parents are immune compromised, and I guess they were just super nervous because they don't want to get sick, and they really started seeing what was happening to people like outside of our home.
Yeah, I didn't really take it seriously at first. Like, obviously, we heard about it on the news, what's happening in China and stuff, but I didn't think it would affect the United States. But then I remember when we were told that we wouldn't be returning to campus and we had to go back and get our stuff out of the dorms. Like, my dad and I went to go get all my stuff, and there was people wearing masks everywhere, and we weren't wearing masks. Like, we didn't think it was that big of a deal. And like normally, you see someone, you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like that's what we were like, but no one would talk to us. I remember my dad was waiting outside when I was grabbing the last of my stuff, and he's like, "I just asked that guy how his day's going," and he just completely ignored me and walked away. And it was just completely different perspective on life, I think, for everyone. And you start regarding people differently if they're wearing a mask or not. So it was definitely unexpected, and you really started to realize how serious it was when you start seeing the death tolls rising and stuff. And the fact that it even entered the United States, like, obviously it was a quickly spreading disease that we weren't really aware of.
I think during quarantine, I definitely went outside more. I started going on bike rides, which is something I never did. I think being home, like over the summer, I feel like I'm always busy, so I kind of would just go to work, whatever. But like this time, like I had online school, and my friends would be like, "Oh, let's go for a bike ride, let's go for a walk." So I did that. So I think like bike riding was really like a new hobby for me.
Yeah, I'd say that summer, like summer when quarantine first started, usually I'd be working or something, being busy over the summer. Then um, something I have or a hobby I started to implement into my life during quarantine was working out, because over the summer when I'd usually have a job, be busy every day, then when I was bored out of my mind, I had nothing to do, so I really started to work out.
I think I'm really excited to go to concerts again because we have to wear masks every time, and like you think about a concert before this, like you never wore a mask, you were sitting next to strangers, like, and around like a million people. Like I just very excited for concerts again.
Yeah, something I'm really excited to go do once this is all over would probably just be to go to the movies. So I love going to the movies with my friends when there was no pandemic around. But I know some movie theaters are open in other places, but here in Oneonta, I know the movie theater that we always go to is closed. So I can't wait for that to be open again, go sit down, relax, forget about all my problems, and just watch a movie.